America's last line of defense could once have been on the beach, at the Jersey Shore. Just dozens of yards from swimmers and lifeguards, defensive missiles lurked in their silos, ready to spring into action in the case of an attack. In the 1950s and 1960s, fears of a Soviet nuclear strike led American leaders to prepare an atomic defense.
The first line of action is fighter aircraft.
Where did they go? Along with dozens of sites across the country. Sandy Hook, the barrier that juts into New York Bay.
Sandy Hook has always been a strategic part of the entrance of New York Harbor.
Pieces of that not so long ago history remain on Sandy Hook, and I went there to take a look at them. I spoke with Pete McPherson, who works for the National Park Service and gives tours now. Before the dawn of intercontinental ballistic missiles, the bombs that could have ended civilization were set to be dropped from the air. We needed to defend against Soviet bombers making their way across the Atlantic to targets like New York City.
The Cold War came, and this is where the Nike missile era came in.
Nike was the first supersonic anti-aircraft guided missile designed to follow the enemy target regardless of evasive action. This improved version, called Nike Ajax, has been the backbone of the Army's continental anti-aircraft defense in past years.
With versions ranging from 32 feet to 41 feet long, weighing thousands of pounds, this anti-aircraft missile had the capability to shoot down Soviet bombers or clusters of them before they reached their targets. There's a replica of one sitting outside the entrance to the base today, and I got an idea of its size.
And as part of the coastal defense here, they had started off with small missiles called Ajax missiles, which were shot offshore, and then eventually it graduated to the missile behind us, the Hercules missile, which also added a nuclear warhead onto it as time went on.
Pete showed me what's left of the underground launchers and control centers, which are now rusting from the sun and the sea air and decades of disuse.
This is an intact elevator and silo area where the Nike missiles would be placed.
These men knew they were targets as well, in bunkers that only went a few dozen feet below the ground, and that in the event of an attack, codenamed Blazing Skies to let them know it was the real thing and not a drill, would have the authority to fire a missile tipped with a nuclear weapon at a cluster of Soviet bombers only 30 to 90 miles away. Hard to believe, but important to remember humanity's ever-increasing capacity for self-directed destruction and weapons that are still with us today.